Hello. Welcome to the Fit and Free Show with Auntie Angel. That's me. ZGALA the Art Angel. This is my mega sculpture called the Head Hutt, one of a few mega sculptures that I've built. And I'm here as usual to do a quick letting go of stress, a little stretching and strengthening. And as always, I invite you to join me to whatever degree feels good in your body. I always like to remind everyone it's not a competition. You don't have to do everything I do. You don't have to brush your hair or put on any special outfit in order to check in with your body, move your body a little more. Let go of some stress. Take a couple deep breaths and a couple deep exhales, if nothing else. And love yourself a little bit more because you're worth it. All that said, let's get to it. I'm going to come back this way and start off as I usually do with a little free arm swinging, just to loosen things up. Hopefully the mosquitoes aren't quite awake yet, although it's that time of day where they start getting a little worse. So if you see me flailing about like a crazy person, it could be the mosquitoes. Could just be that I'm silly and I tend to do that sometimes. I'm going to start by rooting myself into the center of the earth, connecting with the center of the sky a little bit, just checking in with the alignment in Tadasana or mountain pose. Feeling into the bottoms of the feet, relaxing the bottoms of the feet, and then I like to always start with the left side just so I can keep track. There's really no rhyme or reason to it other than that, so whatever side you start with, just keep track of that. I always start on the left so that I can remember easily. And so stepping back into this moderate lunge, I'm going to pull the hips onto the perpendicular line by pulling the back hip forward and the forward hip back, tucking the tailbone under a little bit, making sure I can still see those front toes past that front knee and pushing into that back heel. Let's bring the hands down in front, roll those shoulders down and back, and just bring sharp attention onto those fingertips, shifting the awareness a little bit back and forth between the inside of this body as I teeter a little bit and pay attention to my balance, and also the outside of the body. I'm going to shift from sharp focus on the fingertips to more soft eyes or peripheral view, gazing out at the horizon or the imaginary horizon. And then again back to sharp focus on those fingertips. I like to do that a couple times just to practice shifting my awareness. So back out at the horizon, still pushing into that back heel, still pulling those hips onto the perpendicular line. I think I just heard a little mosquito. And I'm going to shift this back heel onto the perpendicular line now, opening the hips, and keep my attention on that finger as I arch it across the top of the body, come into the side plane here. Adjusting a little bit now, the heels are on about the same line. I'm going to try to stay on this carpet and not slide. And indeed, there's a mosquito coming after me. Now this knee is aiming toward the wall behind. The hips are opening. Checking in with the alignment on each side, out each arm, fingertips. And then I'm going to slide that back foot out some more, bending from the hip, and come into a side lunge or a twisting triangle aeroplane pose, I like to call it. Gazing up at those left fingertips, using my right arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Nice deep side lunge here. And then I'm going to bring this hand around the back and reach for this opposite thigh as I gaze out at the foot of that long leg, increasing this twist and the stretch, giving everybody a nice hug on the inside, a little wringing out of the spine. Enjoying a nice heavy sigh there. And then I'm going to shift onto that back toe, closing the hips, bringing both hands on the inside of this front leg and bending the elbows to increase that a little bit. Just increasing that stretch before I bring weight onto the hands. Fingers are nice and wide, and I'm going to bring this front foot back to meet the back foot and push into Adho Mukha Asana, or downward facing dog. Pressing down in the heels, pressing back with the hips, pressing the heart and the chest toward the center of the earth. The head is in between the elbows. Nice and strong. Sometimes it's called a tent pose. Doesn't really matter so much what you call it if you just get into the feeling of it. I'm going to bend the right knee and push more into the left heel, and then bend the left knee and press more into the right heel. Do that a couple times on each side. Still pressing the heart toward the center of the earth. Nice long line from the fingertips out the tailbone. And pressing into both heels again. Pressing those hips back toward the wall behind. And I'm going to come through a plank or a chaturanga and drop the hips, drop the knees, coming into a cobra pose, letting go of those toes and lifting the chest, lifting the eyes, lifting the chin. Nice long line from the pubic bone out the chin, the whole front of the body. It's relaxing the belly there. Sometimes I like to wiggle that around a little bit. It's to remind the low back and the belly to relax. And you want to make sure in this pose that you're not collapsing in the shoulders, so it's a real strong lift, pressing through those palms. Mosquitoes getting me. And then I'm going to shift back into Uttana Shishosana, bringing the lower body to about a 90-degree angle and trying to kill that mosquito before I bring the forehead to the floor, extending the fingertips out and out and out. Nice stretch through the front of the body and the upper body, the chest, the arms, the shoulders. Continuing to slide those out a little bit if possible. Continue to relax the belly. Just getting a nice stretch there. It's kind of a half relaxed, half active pose for me and my body. I encourage you to just notice how the different things you do feel in your body. Sometimes they feel different on each side. Sometimes they feel different day to day. I'm going to bring the hands back under the shoulders and do some cat-cow breathing. This is cat or Marjariasana, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, pressing through the palms, and exhaling, pulling up in the abdomen. Oh, mosquitoes are coming at me. And then breathing in, lifting the chest, lifting the eyes, lifting the tailbone. Breathing into the belly. Let's do a few rounds with the breath, rounding and exhaling. And lifting and inhaling. Really squeezing the air out at the end. And holding a little bit on the inhale. One more round. And then coming back to tabletop with a relatively flat back. I'm going to walk these hands out a little bit, tuck the toes under a little bit, and lift the hips, coming back into Adho Mukha Asana, or downward facing dog. Again, pressing the heels down, pressing the hips back. Nice see, 3 mosquitoes get me over there. I'm going to swing this left foot, the foot I stepped back with first, forward now, in between the hands for a nice deep lunge on that side. And again, pushing into that back heel. And then I'm going to step forward with that back foot, coming into a forward fold and just hanging here. Wishing I had my mosquito killing racket, but I don't. I'll just keep trying to wiggle them off if I can. Pushing from the bottoms of the feet or the center of the earth. I'm going to tip the tailbone first and come up nice and slow. Just checking in with the spine all the way up. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, and then gonna shake that off a little bit. Checking in with the alignment again. Trying to discourage the mosquitoes off of me. Making sure the ears are over the shoulders. I just saw a cat go by. I don't have a cat, but I've got one that's been visiting me lately. Stealthily, just running by. I'm going to step back with this left foot, the right foot, pardon me, coming on the other side, lunge on the other side, and again, pulling these hips onto the perpendicular line. Now, pulling this front hip back, the back hip forward a little bit, tucking the tailbone under a little bit, pushing into that back heel, making sure I can still see those front toes. Nice strong warrior pose on the other side. And again, bringing sharp focus onto those fingertips. Rolling the shoulders down and back a little bit. And looking out at the imaginary horizon. Try not to look for that cat. Using soft eyes, noticing the peripheral view, and then shifting back to sharp focus on those fingertips. And then again, soft eyes out at the horizon. And again, sharp focus on the fingertips. I'm going to shift that back heel onto the perpendicular line, extend the hands a little bit, and then watch this finger or hand as it arches across the top of the body, coming again into the side plane. And again, now the heels are on about the same line. The hips are opening. This knee is aiming toward the wall behind. Checking in with the alignment and all the limbs before sliding that long leg out and bending from the hips. Bringing the left hand down on the inside of the left knee or foot and knee. The arm, the elbow inside of the knee, the hand inside of the foot, and lifting this right arm, gazing up at those fingertips. And then I'm going to increase that twist, coming around to reach for this opposite hip. Oh, got one. That's going to itch later. Gazing out at that long leg, at the foot at the end of that long leg for an additional twist. Giving everybody a hug, except for that mosquito. There's nothing will turn me into a less loving person quicker than a mosquito. I try. It's a work in progress. Wringing out the spine a little bit. Just enjoying that nice long side lunge for a few breaths. And then I'm going to shift onto the back toe, closing the hips, bringing both hands on the inside of this front leg. And again, bending the elbows a little bit for an additional stretch, pushing into that back heel. Spreading the fingers wide, bringing weight onto the hands, bringing that front foot back, and push it into downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Asana. Oh, that one's gonna itch too. Stuck in me. I know, it's true that if you cannot kill them while they're stuck in you, it won't itch as much, but not doing a very good job of that tonight, am I? They're just so hungry out here. Pressing down in the heels, pressing back in the hips, pressing toward the center of the earth with the heart and the chest. Relaxing the belly, tipping the tailbone a little bit. And then swinging the body forward, coming into a cobra pose. Letting go of the toes, letting go of the belly, lifting the chest and eyes. Maybe adding a silly little tongue stretch there. Trying to relax into that for a breath or so. I'm going to tuck the toes under and lift again through downward facing dog. Pressing into the heels, pressing back with the hips. And then I'm going to swing that right foot forward. I'm going to skip some of the variation on that side since it's not stuff that will be uneven on one side or the other. Pushing into that back heel. Enjoying that nice deep lunge on this side with hands on either side of that front leg. And then I'm going to step forward, coming into a forward fold. Just relaxing the belly, relaxing the head and neck. Bend the knees, swing the arms back, coming into a bit of a counter stretch. Lifting the eyes, lifting the chest, lifting the arms to the sky. And then coming back to Tadasana or mountain pose. Just checking in again with the alignment. Relaxing the bottoms of the feet. Giving myself a little clap snap. Checking with my nervous system. And I'm just going to swing the arms a little bit. Freestyle once more. Just getting the whole body back to cohesive and in the present moment. Not that I was gone for too long. Other than those moments of mosquito killing, perhaps. I don't know if you can relate. Let me know. Are you any good at just letting the mosquitoes do their thing and not freaking out, man, and killing them? Like I said, sometimes I do better than other times. Today, not so much. They're pretty voracious today. I am gonna get back to the rest of my day, but I thank you for stopping by. I thank you for being you and letting me be me. I thank you if you like and subscribe, because that does help me out a lot. I like to always remind us all to stay curious, stay courageous, and get more fit so you can be more free. Remember, you're enough exactly as you are, and also you can do more than you think. Till next time, I'll be seeing you. Ciao for now. Peace.